I mean, it's a fun idea, but it would be very, very expensive. What's up, everybody? Well, first things first, we got ourselves a new room, as I am now recording with a laptop. Finally, an upgrade. Kinda. Quality is just about the same, I'm not gonna lie. But you know where I'm coming from. Anyway, I was thinking to myself the other day, what would it be like if I could make my own college team? And it kind of transitioned into making my own NFL team because I didn't really know any like high schoolers to recruit or college players to transfer. And yeah. And so I instead just made a NFL team, and my siblings and parents suggested that I should make more teams in order to balance out the conferences and teams. And so it ended up becoming making four new NFL teams. And so the basic rules of this challenge are all on the screen. And with that, let's get into today's challenge. First up, we have the Dakota Red Foxes. I think for the Red Foxes, they're an interesting case as I really like them. I really like them a lot. I think of all the four teams I've created, they are my favorite. And I think it's because of the originality of it. I basically looked up what the Dakotas were known for, and I didn't find a lot of stuff that was interesting, so I looked at what animals are common in that place, and red foxes stuck out to me, and so here you go. The logo looks pretty good in my opinion. The color scheme is pretty good. And yeah, it's just a good logo, I think. And I think that this team could be pretty good too. Just wait. Next up is the St. Louis Steamboats. I got to work on them shortly after the finishing of the Red Foxes logo, and this one looks cool in my opinion. I was gonna go with a red and yellow color scheme similar to the Rams, but I decided that I didn't want copyright issues, and I think they would probably get sued by the Rams for doing this. And so I changed it up and went with yellow and black, which is also a NFL team's color scheme. Dang it. Anyway, with this team, I think they look pretty cool. I like the Steamboat itself. It looks pretty cool. It looks intimidating. And the team itself is actually pretty solid as well. We'll get to it though. Next up is the Richmond Snakes, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this is my least favorite of the four. I also think that they might also have the weakest of the four teams, but we'll get to the lineups in a minute. I think for this team, they have a good color scheme. I wanted to input the Richmond green into their logo. I didn't know what other color to use though, so I just used black. And it's a solid logo all around though. I think that it has potential, and this team as a whole has potential. And finally, the Alaska Huskies. I think with this team, they have a really good color scheme that kind of matches the Alaska feel, as they are more cold, and this logo kind of represents that pretty well, as it's kind of like a white-ish blue, and it's also got this lighter gray, or kind of more like dark gray, but still you get the point. It's all kind of a winter cold feel, which Alaska represents perfectly. And I like the Huskies. I like this team as a whole. I like the design, and I think that they are a pretty good team all around. Alaska might also be the best team here because of safety Justin Simmons, who they won the sweepstakes for. They also have Yannick Ngakoue, Carl Lawson on defense to make a ferocious defensive line, or semi-ferocious. These teams are all kind of mid. And Connor Williams to help the offensive line, plus Cam Akers in the backfield, and Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. You're going to see a theme with all these teams that they have bridge options at quarterback and not long-term pieces. The next team to be completed was the Red Foxes. And like the Huskies previously, they also have some good pieces in place, like Micah Hyde and Emmanuel Agba, and the Lions offensive guard that I can't pronounce, and Connor McGovern, Kareem Hunt, and quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. who they would trade for. Again, I think Bridgewater is, as his name implies, a bridge quarterback, but he could be a solid bridge quarterback, I think. Maybe. Next is the Steamboats, and they don't have as many long term pieces in place as some other teams on this list. And I think for them, they're going to have to build a more long term culture if they want to contend. But I think this is a good team. They've got Eddie Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, David Bakhtiari, Dalvin Cook, and Hunter Renfrow, and quarterback Andy Dalton, who, again, they would have to trade for. This is a solid team, but an aging one. And they would have to draft and develop a lot of players if they wanted to. And finally, the Richmond Snakes. And I think they have a solid team. They need some more long-term pieces, but Phil Haynes is definitely a good start and is kind of a steal here. And Russell Gage could be a solid receiver, but he and Michael Thomas are going to be an interesting one to watch. But it's a cool team, I think. And I don't know if Xavier Howard is actually ever going to get an opportunity to play in the NFL again, but this would be a cool experiment to see what would happen. And at least you have a Pro Bowl quarterback at the helm in Tyler Huntley. Thank you for watching. If this video gets to 100 views, I will put these teams together in Madden and simulate a season to see how they would actually do. But let me know what you think of these teams down in the comments. And with that, peace!